All right, next, let's go to meteorologist Cedric Haynes with the weather. How are we looking out there, Cedric?
All right, let's talk about your forecast here as we are tracking a little bit of a break right now from the very active weather out there across the area. We do have some high wind warnings and wind alerts off to our east now. That's our storm system that moved through yesterday, pushing up into Canada, bringing some snow over to places like Minnesota. But for us, we're getting a little bit of a break here with that northwesterly flow. It's much cooler. And in that northwesterly flow, we are seeing a couple of isolated showers working their way south. So we've been watching here, and we've got a little band of light snow showing up here from Boise over towards Twin Falls, stretching down now towards the Park Valley area. Notice some of the leading edge of that starting to turn into a few sprinkles. So, again, don't be surprised if you're in the valleys here across the north of I-80, you see a light rain shower briefly or a couple of sprinkles this afternoon. If you're in the mountains, you may see a snow shower or two roll through. This is not going to amount to much, but we'll keep an eye on it. Also notice some of these gold boxes beginning to pop up back to the north and west of us here. That's some wind alerts that are being issued again for our next wave of more significant atmospheric river moisture. So let's track it all for you with Futurecast here. You'll be able to see these clouds are in place out there. Again, we'll continue to increase and thicken up across northern Utah, but as far as precipitation goes, we're talking a couple of light sprinkles or a light rain shower in the valleys. In the mountains, that's where you'll see a brief snow shower or two making its way through. And then as soon as this moves in, it quickly moves out here by Thursday evening. It's already into Wyoming, and we are drying out for the overnight hours into early Friday. Now, as we get into your Friday afternoon, we'll see more chances of moisture increasing, but this will be associated with that next wave of atmospheric river moisture here. And as that boundary continues to work its way south, valley rain and mountain snow will become more likely and more widespread across the northern half of the state. So expect some wet conditions, especially for your second half of your Friday, heading into Friday night and to Saturday as this boundary slowly oozes south across the area. Again, in the mountains, this will be following at some pretty decent snow activity coming down, but in the valleys, we're talking pretty much just some rain activity with that atmospheric river. Now, this boundary kind of stalls out across central and northern Utah, so that means that even though it won't rain or snow the entire weekend time frame, we will see some periods or some waves of valley rain and mountain snow rolling through on Saturday, and then on Sunday again as the next wave of moisture pushes in as the boundary begins to lift back to the north. So an unsettled word is a way to describe the weekend forecast here for us for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Keep the wet weather gear close by. As you can see, even by Sunday afternoon into evening hours, we're tracking more valley rain and mountain snow. But there will be periods where it's not raining or snowing in your neighborhood. Now, this active pattern looks to continue heading into next week, which, of course, is the all-important Christmas week. As that pattern drifts a little farther south, look at the chance of above-average precipitation across Utah, even stretching down across southern and eastern Utah. So a pretty decent storm looks to be occurring as we get towards your Christmas time frame. So between now and Friday morning, look at this. We're talking about some snow totals here across our northern mountains starting to add up here. And then notice as we get into next Friday, but going all the way through next Monday here. So this takes us to the Monday after Christmas, around the 29th or so. Notice we're going to have probably some decent snowfall coverage showing up in our mountains across the north. But also notice we finally, with that system for the weekend after Christmas, potentially could at least have the chance of a little snow making it down to the valley floors. Of course, that's a long way out, but that's the next chance. St. George, 60s in the forecast here for us as we go throughout the weekend into next week as the winter solstice officially arrives on Sunday. We do start to gain some daylight later into the day on your Sunday into next week. Right now, Christmas Eve, looking like a chance of that rain moving into southern Utah. Otherwise, the Wasatch Front. Isolated showers today with upper 40s. We'll be in the upper 50s Friday with rain and wind, and off and on unsettled conditions through the weekend. Alyssa?